so I was not expecting this at all. The Amazon tank here now is quite old. It's really well established. Fish have been in here for a long time. The Colombian tetras we've got here are actually quite small to start with, and now they're a big chunky size. Now, I think it's worth pointing out there is 0 filtration on this whole tank. So, well, that's not true because there's obviously all of these plants. There's now this massive plants growing at the top. We got duckweed, which I've never put in here, but it's obviously migrated in on some equipment or something. That's covering that whole section there, which means we've got a very dark tank. Not as dark as it's looking, because let it adjust. It's a little bit more darker than, no, there we go, we settled. That's good, that's good. Right, so what have we got here? We have got our Bolivian rams all doing well. We've got our, where are they gone? Oh, there we go. There's some Colombian tetras. There's one there. There's another one there. But one of the main things that I really wanted to show you about this tank was that I found baby Colombian. There it is. There it is. There it is again. Just the one. That's a baby Colombian tetra. I've not put that in here, so they've obviously been breeding, which is amazing. That is the only one I've seen though. So I'm guessing the chances of survival in this tank are quite low. Now the thing is, it's probably, you know, grown up in this whole mass of plants up in this section, and that's enabled it to get to a decent size where it's able to swim fast and it's not sort of edible. I mean, even at that size, where's it gone? Yeah, there he is. Look, even at that size there, he could still be eaten by some of the bigger fish in here. I'm saying he, I don't know if it's a he, do I? It could be a boy or a girl. Oh, hang on, is that another one at the back? No, that's a glow light tetra. But yeah, it's just amazing. Like, I was just coming up to the tank having a little look, and I just couldn't believe that I saw that, because I've never seen any babies in any of my tanks that are heavily stocked, because obviously they just get picked off so easy. Now, this did have a power head in here as well, or is that a wave maker? Yeah, wave maker, pushing the water around. Well, that packed up about a month ago, and so now there's literally no flow and no filtration. We've got all these fish in here and the water quality of it is just bang on. I mean, it is all changing soon, but it's cool to know, isn't it? Once you get a really established tank, which this one is very well established now, you know, the plants are enough, and it's not a heavily planted tank, is it? I guess it doesn't look it, but it is, because massive Amazon sword there, loads and loads of floating plants, and these are Amazon swords all growing out the surface as well, as they would in, you know, like in nature. I was going to say in real life then, but this is real life. And then on the top, of course, we've got all these peace lilies that are pulling all nitrates out of their root systems, which is all in the water. So there is actually a very heavily planted tank, even though it doesn't sort of look like it. It's very naturalistic though, absolutely love the look of it. But like I say, it's time for a change. And what we're going to be doing soon is combining the electric blue Aquaria, aren't we? We're going to move them across into this tank, and I'm going to go for something that's less hardscape heavy. Half of this tank currently is taken up by hardscape, and that's not what I'm going to want in the new one. What I want to do is go for something a lot more simple in terms of hardscape, and then have a lot of plants. Oh, shock horror, I know. But you know, the typical Amazon style tanks have big leaf plants, that kind of thing. So I want to do a lot of Amazon swords. Now, previously on the electric blue Aquaria tank, I did this as well. But I do feel like where I went wrong with this one is that I put too many of the bigger plants in the foreground, and you just lose all sense of depth, because like it looks flat, doesn't it? You can't see back anywhere. And yeah, I'm not going to do that again. I'm probably going to reuse this plant right here, this amazing looking Amazon sword, but I'm going to put it in the back sort of section. I think what I'll do is have like a triangular composition, but further back, so we've got loads of swim room. The fish will be lit up massively. These are 20 watt LED floodlights we've got here. I've got 30 watt ones coming. They should be arriving today actually, so I'll put those up, and that'll give us way more light straight away. I mean, this isn't a dark tank when I haven't got all this stuff all over it, but it can handle 30 watts. I know this because the African tank here, you see, has got two 30 watt LED floodlights, about the same height they're going to be in the other tank as well. This one again though is quite heavily sort of dense with hardscape, so again I'm going to steer away from that this time. It works well in this tank, absolutely love it, but very quickly, like the plants fill out the small areas you've got left, so I'm going to go more plants on the new one. I'm also going to be going for some really cool plants as well. So down here, some of them are here. I mean, we've got so many. But what I actually ordered this time is a lot of the bigger leafed Ludwigias you can see here. So like Grandulosa we've got Super Red, we've got lots of different mixes of them, and I think that's going to go so well in that background area. Like massively, massively stem heavy. And another tank that I need to update you on as well is the golden barb tank. Well, it's not just golden barbs. We've got a mix of all other fish in here as well, but golden barbs were the main feature fish. Oh, there's a shrimp just coming to the front now. Hello. Need to update you on this. It's going fantastic. We just got the usual problems you get with a new tank. So it's probably going to be really hard for me to make it out, but on the front glass, we've got quite a bit of dust algae, a little bit of hair algae coming on as well. That's probably because I've got 2 lights on this tank and it's not massively well established. Like I normally only have 1, but I thought I'd do this as a bit of experiment. But so far, we're doing really well because this tank was actually left for like well over a week whilst I was away on holiday, and I've come back and it's still doing so well. Definitely going to scrape down this glass though. Look, maybe you'll be able to see the difference now. Look, you can see how much the water's dropped in, that's a week and a half, so that's not too bad, is it? Easily manageable. Oh, I'm smashing the light here. Yeah, you just cannot beat these little razor scrapers. Look, you can buy the replaceable razors for them as well, really cheap. I think they're mainly used for like cleaning oven glass and things like that. Mine was advertised as an oven glass cleaner, but you know, it works so well in here, didn't it? I'll leave a link for it actually in the description because lots of you ask about it. The fish are really interested. They're not scared at all by all the work I'm doing here. Yes, I'll get you some food in a minute. Schooling, the lampies, look, they school so nicely. Literally, I'm not kidding you. I think that's all the maintenance I need to do to this tank. A scrape down of the glass. I mean, we can all handle that every like 1.5 weeks, can't we? Really pleased with the development of it as well. Plants are growing in nicely. So that rotala that you can see there was grown under brighter light. So you can see the stems underneath are more red. Now the new growth is that bright green, and as that gets closer to the surface, that will actually turn red as well. But it is a great sign that the plant's growing nicely. And we've got a similar situation on the other side, look, near the top there of that rotala. Believe it or not, that's not rotala HR. Actually, some of those are HR, but those ones at the top there, that's just normal rotala rotundifolia. It's more of a pinky orangey colour under sort of medium levels of light, but it does add interesting little pops, doesn't it, around the tank rather than everything being just green. Moss wise, look, the moss is already growing in. I'm going to stay right on top of this one actually. I think that's the next thing I need to do. Probably not this time, but next time get in there on the moss and give it another trim up. I want to keep everything proper tight to the wood, because if you don't, before you know it, it's just taken over the whole tank. I've fallen into that mistake many times now. I'm not going to be doing it again. Look at this awesome little shrimpy just going for a little trot about. Make more babies for me, please. That is a female, I believe, as well. Look, you can just tell by how vibrant it is in colour, and that back tail sort of scoops out. Oh, bye. Thanks for that. I was trying to explain something. Golden barbs, we've got more than 3, obviously. There's only 3 here at the moment. Where's the rest of you? I can see the rest of them through this little... you're not going to be able to see it because it can't focus, but the rest of them all around the back as well. One thing I am noticing though, a lot of the crypts are melting back. You can just see that leaf there. And some of the leaves, they're melting right back. Absolutely normal for crypts to do that. I think that's because they were established ones actually that I moved from another tank into here. And when you move crypts, they really don't like it. But give it a few more weeks and the new ones will start coming up and the tank will start looking absolutely great again. I mean, it looks great now, but like really great when you get that thick-leaved crypts, filling in those sort of side sections. And we've also got some fantastic news over here with the rare guppy aquarium that's set up. This tiny little nano has got 3 guppies in it, 2 females and 1 male. They are the koi guppies, and when I got them, both the females are pregnant. Now, one of the females laid the baby somewhere. I don't even know where. I didn't see them. The second one's now dropped, and they're all in the tank. Right, I suppose the challenge now is going to be to pick them up on camera. But you know, first of all, you know, female there, belly look, is not all full and bloated now. Same with this one, although she's starting to get more babies again, which doesn't surprise me. You can see the back fins are looking a little bit ragged. That's obviously where the male's been going after him a bit. That's all going to change very shortly. Okay, we have a baby. Where are you going? Where? There we go. Oh, it's going to be really hot. There we go. Tiny little thing. So he's out in his open. I did see some more back amongst all the leaves. Oh, there we go. We've got some more up at the surface area there. So they're all quite well protected because I made the tank so well planted, you know what I mean? And then the idea was that I now catch them and put them into the rare fish ecosystem, the big tanks. That's what we're gonna do. Problem is, I haven't got a clue where I put my little net. I'm forever losing things. I just need to buy like 20 of everything, so I've always got something to hand. Little net, where are you? Where are you? You're not gonna believe this. I'm so used to stuff not being where it's supposed to be that the net was where it's supposed to be. We also need this little pot. Fill the jug up, hopefully catch the male. Oh my goodness, I just caught the male. Look at that. I need a bit more water than that. Don't go out, don't go out, don't go out. There we go. Skills. Now, are the females gonna be as easy? That one was. And that one was too. Ideal. So now we can take these guys and move them across into the other aquarium. And this one right here is the aquarium they're going in. It's just had a massive sort of update. We've already got some koi endlers in here. That's endler females at the top and the male next to it there. So these will be a nice little addition to that. I don't need to temperature acclimate. All the temperature is the same, guys. I heat these rooms to the same temperature, so all the water is the same. So they can go straight in. Oh, how if I show you? In you go. There we go, look at that. Straight away. New additions. God, they pop so much, don't they? You can straight away see which ones they are. Where's that male gone? There we go. And the females will stop getting so harassed now because the male's got like, well, more space for a start, but there's the other female endlers as well, which are decent size. Like, look at that. That's the female endler. That's the female regular. To be fair, that one's actually just about to pop, so that's why it's so huge. But yeah, it's going to be great in this tank. I'm not seeing any babies at all, but then as usual, there's a lot of fish in this tank, so the likelihood, I mean, some will survive. Some will just hang around in these bottom sections. They'll get big enough, just like we saw with the Colombian tetra, and they'll end up growing out. But it's not going to be very common, is it? Cool, actually the male's taken a bit of a battering on that back fin, but not to worry, that will grow back in no time. I had a similar thing with some of my rainbow fish that have full tails now, so yeah, fish tail fins, they grow back very quickly. Yeah, so now I can feed this tank, look, with a tiny little bit of flake. I mean, these flake bits are quite big, but they'll peck at it, and there's smaller bits breaking up as well there. Yeah, there we go, look, see, there's all the babies. They're all gonna go around and eat it. This tank has got quite a little bit of sort of microalgae and stuff like that as well, because quite a bright light we've got underneath here for this whole thing. So it's getting established, you know what I mean? The fact that the babies are still alive now and they've only been dropped in the last few days is a really good sign. All we've got to do is keep putting in little bits of food like this and they'll be absolutely fine. They'll grow up in no time. Hopefully look just as good as their parents.